This thing starts at Carol's diner with a waitress named Shelly who serves a man at the table. She then goes back to the counter and tells someone off camera that the man is from Denver and his name is on his shirt. We then switch to a slight fast forward where Tamara is knocking on the door of the same man asking if Tamara's home.
Is Tamara here?
We then cut to where Pinup Girl, Dollface, and Scarecrow have that same man in the woods, where Scarecrow neutralizes him and gets the other two to finish the job. We then fast forward to the events of Chapter 1 after the trio left Maya and her boyfriend for dead, not knowing she survived. She's in a hospital where Nurse Danica tells her that her fiancé didn't survive. Then later she's interviewed by the sheriff to tell him the story. He tells her that her memory might be messed up. But she tells him she remembers the red truck and that they wore a mask and that they seemed to like what they were doing. While flashing back in her mind, she remembered it was like a ritual to them. The whole time the sheriff and his deputy were exchanging knowing glances. When she saw that, she asked him if this has happened before, and the deputy started to tell her.
Well, there's been...
It's on it.
She also said one of them was asking for Tamara. That's when Nurse Danica walks in and she says the doctor wants them to let Maya rest. So the sheriff and the deputy go back to the diner and the waitress wants to know if they found out who killed that couple. The deputy tells her that the girl didn't die. Everybody hears it, including Shelly, who's also Pinup Girl, one of the killers. That's when one of the patrons they know sits down and tries to give them her off-the-wall theory. But at the end she says, you never know what a killer looks like. The camera pans to Shelly where we go to a flashback of her childhood. She's at school on the playground watching some of the girls that bully her, also watching the boy that she likes. After the bullies stomp on her sandcastles, she hugs her Pinup Girl doll. And now we're back in present day. Back at the hospital, Nurse Danica gives Maya her pain meds. And this is where the movie starts to get a little silly. Okay, so she gets a text video from her sister who says they've hired a private EMT to come and pick her up and take her to Portland Hospital. And that her and Howard, who I guess is her husband, are going to meet her there. Directly after that, she gets an unknown call. And when she answers the call, this is what she hears.
Is Tamara here?
How they got her cell phone number, I don't know. But then directly after that, outside of her door, she hears one of the staff members screaming, "Who are you?" And then he gets murdered. So Maya gets out of the bed and starts wandering around the hospital with her stab wound. And for some reason, this hospital is completely empty. Then the lights go out and suddenly she has no cell phone signal. I guess her phone only works on Wi-Fi. She wanders around for quite some time and then she sees Scarecrow with an axe. So she runs and Scarecrow is chasing her around the hospital like he's Mike Myers. This goes on for a while, then she jumps into some type of mini elevator and Pinup Girl is there waiting for her. This elevator takes her to the lower level of the hospital where the morgue is. She also dropped her phone in that same little elevator. So now she's walking down this long hall and Scarecrow appears again. So now Scarecrow chases her into what looks like a boiler room. She unhooks some kind of steam valve and sprays Scarecrow in the face to get away. She runs into the morgue, Scarecrow follows her, and of course she hides in the slot that her boyfriend was in. When he gets to the drawer she's in, another worker appears out of nowhere. So Scarecrow neutralizes him, drags him out. She runs out of the hospital and down the road. And Scarecrow's out there too. Wasn't he just dragging a body? She finds a horse stable and Pinup Girl is there. She's in the stable looking for keys to one of the cars. And a lady with a pistol appears. Maya says, call the sheriff, but the lady says, no, he's not going to do anything because and she's taken out by a crossbow. So she picks up the woman's weapon and starts firing, but there's only one bullet in the gun.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell.
Maya hides in the stable, but Pinup Girl is right behind her. So Maya jumps out and stabs her with a pitchfork. So Maya runs in the house, out the bathroom window, and down the block. A car comes down the road and it's Nurse Danica from the hospital. Maya gets in the car and when they start to drive, they find two of their friends standing in the street. So those two guys get in the car, they start acting funny, Maya gets scared and she jumps out. And everyone goes down into the woods looking for her. So Maya drinks some nasty pond water and sews up a wound with the kit she stole from the car. In the morning, Pinup Girl and the killers are right behind her. Scarecrow breaks into this little cabin in the woods. And there's something in there. We'll come back to that. Maya hears something and now she's being chased. So she jumps into an old abandoned car and something's breaking the windows. Turns out it's a giant pig. We'll come back to that. So the pig mauls her leg, she grabs the knife that she stole from the car, kills the pig. Maya leaves, Pinup Girl shows up and sees the dead pig. Now Pinup Girl Shelly, she has a flashback of her and that little boy that she liked in the beginning of the movie. This little boy is the young Scarecrow. And he's showing young Shelly that he can control wild pigs.
I taught them to come to me.
So that last scene where he broke into that little cabin and there was something in there, it was a boar. And he sent the boar after Maya. He can control pigs.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell.
So just then, Shelly's bully shows up, and she's not happy watching them play together, so she fakes an injury to get the boy to come over to her. Shelly runs away, finds a field mouse, and breaks its neck. So Maya drags that leg through the woods all the way to the cabin she was in Chapter 1. It's a crime scene now, so she drinks some water, eats some stale crackers, and goes into the other room to get some clothes. somebody walks in the house.
It must be Maya. Are you okay?
Do I look okay?
That was actually funny. He says his name is Billy Buford, Oregon State Police Internal Affairs.
It's internal affairs.
Dude shows her a phone instead of a badge as ID. Anyway, he puts Maya in her car, waits too long to get inside, and gets popped by Pinup Girl. What was he standing there smiling about? How was this happening? Remember, she was stabbed with a pitchfork. However, Maya jumps in the driver's seat and tries to drive off, but they shoot the engine with a crossbow. She accurately shot the radiator. She wakes up later in her underwear all stitched up. The car seems to only make it a couple of 100 yards to the next house. She's banging on the door and this dude answers. So apparently she passed out. They didn't show it. But she wakes up in her underwear all stitched up. She then gets dressed and starts looking around the house. And she runs into the same people that picked her up on the road in the hospital. Yes, Nurse Danica and her friends. She also gives Maya her phone. Remember the phone she dropped back in that mini elevator at the hospital? How?
It's your phone. I rescued it from the hospital's lost and found.
Meanwhile, that private EMT that Maya's sister sent at the beginning of the movie finally makes it out there and needs gas. He gets the creepy owner of the gas station to turn the pump on, and we cut back to the house. That scar on her head changes sizes every scene. She's reading her sister's text about the EMT being 20 minutes out. She sent one guy to go get her sister after she's being stalked by killers who haven't been caught yet. Then this guy barges in her room. More stupid conversation. We're gonna skip that. After he leaves, she blocks the door with a dresser and finds a pair of scissors on the floor. He hears something outside the door, and it's Pinup Girl again. She was stabbed with a pitchfork. Anyway, she's able to push her back out of the room.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
How? Just how? Anyway, she starts singing Rockabye Baby, and Maya turns around and stabs her. In the shoulder, though. That was a choice. Look how she turns her wrist. You trying to survive or not? Maya throws Dollface to the floor and locks herself in the bathroom. And then she comes out. When she gets downstairs, everybody's dead. Nurse Danica, her friend, even the guy in the Oregon shirt that didn't have any lines. Only one that made it was this guy because he left earlier. Maya hits from the ambulance she sees outside. When she gets inside, Pinup Girl's waiting for her. They fight and Maya stabs her in the head with the scissors. And Maya watches Pinup Girl die. But then she survives. So Maya flips the ambulance over to get her off of her. So while Pinup Girl is about to take her last breath, Maya decides to look under the mask. And just as she's about to, Scarecrow and Dollface pull up. Scarecrow takes off her mask, revealing Shelly the waitress's face. A flashback of young Pinup Girl Shelly, watching young Scarecrow play with the girl that bullies her. She makes young Scarecrow knock on the door and ask for her by name.
Is Tamara here?
And then she pops out and gives him a kiss. We see now that's who Tamara is. Shelly's had enough. But Tamara wants young Scarecrow to do it again.
Wait, do it again!
Scarecrow looks at Shelly in disbelief. Tamara says, "I'm waiting."
Is Tamara here?
And beats Tamara lifeless with a rock. Tamara's body is leaking all over the ground. After drawing a smiley face in it, they hold hands. Maya watches as Scarecrow holds Shelly's lifeless body.